Big energy, pride is the devil. I think it got a hold on me. Pride is the devil. Man, y'all don't want to get me singing. Today, we about to set the tone. We talking about pride. We are talking about pride because pride is the devil. Pride sabotages. Pride steals from you. Pride gets the best of you. Pride be holding you in a chokehold. And you don't even know how to get out of it. Pride is psychological. Pride is in the mind. Who taught you how to not ask for help? Who taught you how to not be vulnerable? Because if nobody taught it to you, you're not going to know how to do it. Pride is the devil. Pride will rob you of all of your peace, all of your opportunities. Pride is the devil. And we about to set the tone and get right into it. We about to get right into it. Listen, pride. Pride can be defined as an inability to express how you feel or to receive help from someone else. Pride can be defined as a definition to express how you feel or the inability to receive help from someone else. Right? Now, growing up, I never liked asking people for help. Right? I never really liked it. I never thought it was my thing. It just didn't feel right, because if I'm asking somebody for help, I'm opening up myself to rejection. I'm opening up myself to not even getting a good result from it. So growing up, I was never taught that. Well, first of all, I was never taught what pride was, but I was never taught how to ask for help. So as I became wiser and more mature and more disciplined, I then realized growing up, pride will sabotage everything. Right? For example, if you have a conflict with a friend, and you don't want to share that conflict, or you don't want to express to them how you feel because of your pride, that can sabotage that valuable friendship. If you want to request a raise from work, or you want to request a raise at work, and you feel like you're not worthy of that raise, you're gonna not even say anything because your pride is holding you back, because you feel like you're not worthy. You're not able to express how you feel, with the possibility of rejection on the other side. Toxic masculinity in culture has a huge role in the play of pride. As men growing up, women are susceptible as well. But as men in mass culture, we are taught that we're supposed to handle all things by ourselves. Right? Sometimes in women culture, you may see it as far as like an independent person, an independent woman. You know, an independent woman who does everything by herself. Right? Pride can be so debilitating on the inside of you, because let's shift back into toxic masculinity. As men, we were taught not to ask for help, not to express ourselves, always be tough, always put on a strong face. Listen, that paradigm, that belief system is behind us. That's not going to serve us. That's not going to benefit us in no way. Who are we fooling? Let's be real, like, who are we really fooling? Toxic masculinity is really putting on a mask for culture, as if you got everything under control, and you know sometimes you need help. We can't make it in life by ourselves. We cannot. So at times it is ideal to communicate and express and trust other people, so that you can release some of that load off of your shoulders and take off some of that pressure, because you are messing up your nervous system on the inside of you when you hold things in and don't share with anybody. So who is that serving? And you're probably not even aware of how the pride is debilitating you on the inside, but you know how you feel about it, right? You know how you feel. You know how when you bite your tongue, you don't say how you feel to other people? That's pride. You know when you see somebody else flourishing and you don't want to ask them for advice or insight? That's pride. You know when you're up here struggling financially or emotionally and you don't want to tell or talk to your mom or your brothers about it? That is pride. Let it go. Let it go. It's not serving you. It's too much for you to hold. It's too much on your shoulders. Pride is debilitating. It's a combination of toxic masculinity, vulnerability, and asking for help, which includes vulnerability. So when you are starting to become more vulnerable with yourself, right? But I understand, because some people are in survival mode. Some people have a survival mentality, which means survival mentality is basically, I'm not worried about my emotions. I'm not worried about the next person. I'm worried about what I'm going to eat today. I'm worried about how my rent is about to get paid. I'm worried about how I'm going to raise his family. I'm not really focused on my emotions. But the thing with that is, that's not going to sustain That's not going to evolve progress. That's not going to evoke progress from you at all. Because when you turn off your emotions and then when you just go in beast mode all the time, that's not going to sustain itself. It can never sustain itself because you're not a machine. You're a human with emotions. Like, come on now. You're not a machine, right? You have emotions so you can feel them, so you can process them, so you can learn from them. That's a part of the human experience. We're not just on this earth to just work ourselves to death and accomplish riches and travel on vacations 5 times a year and, you know, and create meaningful relationships. All of those things are great, but we are here to evolve personally and emotionally. This is a vibrational world. So the pride that you may feel within your body is lying to you, and it's time to make that shift into becoming more expressive and vulnerable so you can evolve from the version you are today. Pride is the devil. Pride is going to continue to steal from you until you wake up to the idea of actually expressing how you feel and talking to people how you feel and trusting yourself enough to trust that if you do get rejected, you'll be good. Trusting yourself enough to know that if somebody doesn't feel you or if you don't get that answer that you're seeking after opening up, you will still be good because guess what? You're learning. You're learning and you're growing. You're learning and you're growing. Pride is the devil. Pride does not serve you at all. I'm getting ahead of myself. Listen, ways to reduce pride, ways to minimize pride are 3 ways. Maybe 2. 1, address yourself emotionally. What do you feel? Do you feel angry sometimes? Do you feel upset? Do you feel disappointed? Do you feel satisfied? Do you feel freedom? What do you feel on a daily basis, right? And ask yourself, why do you feel those ways? Do you feel angry because you hate your job? Do you feel upset because your partner is not the best partner that they can be? When you start to address yourself emotionally, you are dismantling the toxic masculinity that you have within you, that you're holding on your shoulders. It's okay to express yourself. It's okay to be open and authentic. You can still hold integrity. You can still have your masculine energy. You can still do all of that while still having a balance of the feminine energy as well. That's really a wholesome person. Addressing how you feel, identifying the source of how you feel is a great first step. You want to bring consciousness and awareness into this. That's the only way to break any cycle, is bringing your awareness and consciousness into it. Address how you feel, right? Connect with your emotions. Release your emotions. Don't smoke it away. Don't drink it away. Don't sex it away. Release what you feel through acknowledging it and identifying the source. And also, when you identify the source, you are then able to make a decision on how you want to change it. You're always going to have options no matter what. Vulnerability. I kind of touched on it in the previous point. Number 2, vulnerability. Be vulnerable with yourself. I know how you love to be vulnerable with partners and your sex and your girlfriend, your wife, your boyfriend. I know how you love to be vulnerable with your mom. Be vulnerable with yourself and with your friends. They might laugh at you, they may say you changed, but guess what? You are positioning yourself to do better for yourself. Who wants to live in the same cycle, the same dysfunctional system every single day? That gets old. Nobody wants to do that. Vulnerability. Learn how to be vulnerable. Read books about vulnerability. Connect to yourself. And 3, asking for help. This has been something that I've been learning myself. I've been learning how to ask people for help when I know I need it. Asking people for insight when I know I did something that I fucked up and I said something that wasn't ideal. I ask people for like, yo, what did you think about this? Do you think I was in the wrong, or do you think that other person was in the wrong? There's really no wrong or right, but just for the context of this. So I ask people for help sometimes, right? I want to know their perspective because sometimes I have blind spots that I can't see, but people around me can. You feel me? Sometimes I may not know how I'm navigating certain things and other people may be a lending hand, right? Asking people for help, becoming more vulnerable, and addressing how you feel are 3 ways to minimize pride. You got this. You are rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. You can break this dysfunctional system that you have established to protect your heart. Pride is only there to try to protect your heart. It's okay. It's okay. All right, I can give you a virtual hug. Come on, bring it in. I can give you a virtual hug because it is okay. We are too grown. We are getting too old to not address dysfunctional patterns in our life. You got this. We setting the tone, elevated thinking. Let's get it.